Ninth Biology, Unit 20. Organ Systems in Animals. In the previous part, we started human digestive system and completed up to the esophagus. In this part, let us continue from stomach. Mouth is the first part of the digestive system. It is followed by mouth cavity or buccal cavity, then pharynx. Pharynx opens into a tube. Esophagus opens into stomach. Stomach is a bag-like structure. It stores food and it also secretes enzymes for digestion. Where is stomach located? Stomach is located in between esophagus and small intestine. It is J-shaped. Inside the wall of the stomach, there are millions of gastric glands. The gastric glands secrete gastric juice. The gastric juice contains three important components. They are mucus, hydrochloric acid or HCl, and the enzymes renin and pepsin. Renin and pepsin are digestive enzymes. Mucus is a lining found inside the stomach. Inner part of the stomach is lined by mucus. The mucus protects the stomach from the secretions of acid and other digestive juices. If the mucus is damaged by bacteria or smoking or alcohol, that results in ulcer. So mucus is a protective covering of the inner part of the stomach. Hydrochloric acid kills microorganisms found in the food. Pepsin is an enzyme. When it is produced inside the stomach, it is called as pepsinogen. Pepsinogen is inactive form. The inactive pepsinogen is converted into active pepsin by hydrochloric acid. Hydrochloric acid kills microorganisms and also it converts inactive pepsinogen into active pepsin. Pepsin digests proteins. Renin involves in the digestion of milk protein, so its role in infants is very important. This is esophagus. From the esophagus, the food enters into the stomach. The food leaving the mouth is called as bolus. The bolus passes through the esophagus and reaches the stomach. Inside the stomach, further digestion takes place. The food is not fully digested inside the stomach. It is partly digested or half digested. The semi-digested food leaves the stomach and enters into the first part of small intestine. What is the first part of small intestine? Duodenum. It is U-shaped. From the stomach, the duodenum receives the partly digested food that is called as chyme. The bolus enters into the stomach. Inside the stomach, that is partly digested. When it leaves the stomach, that is called as chyme. The chyme leaves the end part of the stomach, that is pylorus or pyloric stomach. Stomach is followed by small intestine. Small intestine is the longest part of our digestive system. It is a highly coiled tube. Its length is 5 to 7 meters. It has the first U-shaped part, duodenum, and jejunum, the last coiled part, ileum. Duodenum is U-shaped part. Jejunum is a shorter segment. Ileum is the longest part of small intestine. Let us see duodenum. This is duodenum. It receives secretions from liver and also from pancreas. Liver secretes bile. The bile is stored in gallbladder. Tamil it is called as pithapai. From the gallbladder, the bile is carried through bile duct. The bile duct reaches the duodenum. Duodenum is C-shaped and receives the bile duct from the liver and pancreatic duct from pancreas. From pancreas, the secretions are carried by pancreatic duct. The pancreatic duct opens into the duodenum. Pancreatic duct and bile duct both open into the duodenum. Jejunum is the middle part of small intestine. The digestion completes in jejunum. It is a short region of small intestine. It secretes intestinal juice which contain the enzymes sucrase, maltase, lactase. These three sucrase, maltase, lactase are carbohydrate digesting enzymes, and lipase is fat digesting enzymes. They are secreted inside the jejunum. Digestion comes to the end in jejunum. After jejunum, the last part of small intestine is ileum. It is coiled part. The inner wall, it is a lower part of small intestine, and this lower part of the small intestine is ileum. This ileum opens into large intestine. Ileum is the longest part of small intestine. When we open and look at the inner wall of the ileum, it has finger-like projections called as villi. The length of villi are 1 millimeter. The inner surface of the ileum looks like velvet cloth because of the presence of villi. The villi absorb nutrients from the food after digestion. The inner wall of ileum has finger-like projection called as villi. They are the organs of absorption of digested nutrients. So small intestine involves in both digestion and absorption. Ileum part of the small intestine involves in digestion, remaining absorption. Ileum involves in absorption, remaining part involve in the digestion. Digestion and absorption are the two activities done by small intestine. It has three regions: duodenum, jejunum and ileum. This is small intestine. This small intestine opens into large intestine. This is the first part of large intestine called a cecum. And this is cecum. It is a closed bag that is followed by colon. This is colon. And this part is rectum. And the end part is anus. Unabsorbed and undigested food is passed into the large intestine. In small intestine, nutrients are absorbed by the intestinal villi. Unabsorbed, undigested food enters into large intestine. Large intestine has three regions. It is 1.5 meter in length. It has colon, cecum. The first part is cecum, the remaining part colon, and this is rectum. End of the digestive system is anus. Cecum, colon and rectum. Cecum, colon and rectum are the three regions of large intestine. This is cecum, this is ascending colon, this is transverse colon, this is descending colon. Ascending colon, transverse colon, descending colon. Sometimes it is called a sigmoid colon, and it is rectum, and the end is anus. The water, we drink lot of water. Water is mixed with the food. The excess of water is absorbed inside the large intestine. The cecum has a tube, finger-like tube called as vermiform appendix. Vermiform means worm-like. This is appendix. It is connected with a cecum. In human, it is non-functioning organ, so it is called a vestigial organ. Vestigial organs are non-functioning organ, but our ancestors had functioning appendix. The appendix is functioning in some of the animals. In human, it is non-functioning, called as vestigial organ. The unabsorbed, undigested food is sent out of the digestive system through anus, that is egestion or defecation. Absorption of food takes place in the small intestine. Intestine has villi. They absorb nutrients. After digestion, nutrients are absorbed by the villi. From the villi, the nutrients are circulated by blood and lymph. Blood is a red colored fluid, lymph is white colorless fluid. Inside the villi, blood vessels and lymph vessels are there. They carry the nutrients throughout the body and supply nutrients to the cells. This is a inner part of small intestine, showing intestinal villi. They absorb nutrients. From the villi, the nutrients are carried by blood and lymph to different parts of the body. So different parts of the body receive the nutrients. Assimilation is the movement of digested food molecules into the cells of the body where they are used. The absorbed food materials, nutrients, enter into the cells. The cells use the nutrients, that is assimilation. The digested nutrients are carried by the blood after absorption. They are used by the cells. That process is called as assimilation of food. For example, glucose is formed after the carbohydrate digestion. This glucose is used in respiration to get energy. So now the cells use glucose to get energy. And amino acids are formed after the digestion of proteins. The cells use the amino acids to produce new proteins needed for human. Fat is stored in the body. After digestion, fat is broken down into fatty acid and glycerol. The carbohydrates are broken down into simple sugars like glucose, fructose. Proteins are broken down into amino acids. Digestion of proteins result in amino acids. Carbohydrate digestion produces simple sugars. Fat digestion produces fatty acids and glycerol. The fatty acid and glycerol are used by the cells. Inside the cells, fatty acid and glycerol join together and form new fats. These fats are stored in adipose tissue. Adipose tissue is made up of fat storing cells. We have already learned while learning the tissue. Carbohydrates are broken down to simple sugars like glucose. The glucose is used for energy production, and excess of glucose after using energy production, the excess glucose is converted into glycogen and it is stored in liver and muscles. Excess sugar are converted into complex polysaccharide glycogen. The glycogen is stored in liver. Carbohydrates are digested into simple sugars. The cells use simple sugars to produce energy, and excess sugars are converted into complex polysaccharide glycogen that is stored in liver and muscles. Proteins are broken down into amino acids during digestion. We eat animal proteins and plant proteins. Inside the cells, these amino acids are used by the cells to produce the needed protein for our body. The amino acids are utilized to synthesize different proteins required for the body. The digested nutrients are used by the cells for energy production or for the production of new components. This is called as assimilation. So we discussed the structure of digestive system in the present video and the previous video, and also we learned about absorption and assimilation. we didn't learn anything about liver and pancreas. So we had learned about liver, pancreas. We will cover liver and pancreas in the next short video.